Funny Gaming.
Alright, welcome back after a week delay to Hey Funny Gaming's DayZ for Dummies. There has been an update since I last played, actually a few updates. 1.7.2 dropped, had a few problems. Rocket then put out some rolling updates to fix the issues, and that's all there was to it. Had a few issues with switching back to my other key to check the update out before I came back to my secondary to make more videos, and I couldn't get back to my secondary without having a bunch of issues, so I finally got it working again today. It looks as though he did, unless he rolled back some of the changes, he did implement a little bit better zombie detection as far as, like, they can't see you from as far, they can't hear you as well through walls, different things like that. So some of the stuff that was a little bit broke, he apparently patched. So that's good. Let's see. It took me a while to find a server I could actually connect to. Kept getting issues where it said, waiting for host, or just different loading screens or whatever, but seems to be working okay now. US 46, I'll have to remember this one. It seems like a halfway decent server. Okay, now today, if we remember where we were at last episode, switch back to my hatchet so I can stealth crawl. What we need at the moment is some food. We have a couple of canteens, one full, one empty. We do not have any food, however, so that's the next thing we're going to look for, and we're going to start heading towards one of the bigger towns carefully, since it's daytime, and see if we can find some medical supplies, because, even though I have a weapon, I have bandages, if I got attacked by a zombie, or another player for that matter, and they broke my legs, I would be completely screwed. So, because you need morphine to use on yourself to fix your legs. And I do have painkillers, but, that's only for if you're in shock and you're shaking to steady your aim or whatever, so that's not really going to help you if you break your legs. But we're still over here in Kamenka, so we'll probably end up doing, we might just go ahead and loot that red building, just to see if anything has respawned since we were last in the game. Obviously this is a completely different server, so it's hard saying what we're going to find, but... And especially since it's a completely different version of the game, it's 1.7.1, or I'm sorry, 1.7.2.3, you may have implemented a few changes in the spawn system that he didn't mention in the change notes. So, I guess we'll just have to see what we find. Okay, this server that I jumped on is it's a veteran server, but they have crosshair turned on and they have third person turned on, so that way some of the other things that people don't like tags and things like that are disabled, but Makes it a little more hardcore, but it still has some of the basic implements that are very useful. Like your crosshair. Because certain weapons, like for example the crossbow, does not have it doesn't really have a aim sight thing on it. You just kind of got to zero it in yourself manually and try and figure out where you need to target things. Alright, looks like there's something in here. We're not going to open that up though. There's a bandage, I'll take that. I would take everything from there and clear it out, but I don't think we're going to be here very long, so I'm not really going to bother with it. Well, I almost forgot to start my episode timer. I don't want it to make it another over hour long episode like the last episode. That took days, literally, to get uploaded properly. The first time it failed after uploading for 6 hours. So, alright. Looks like there's some zombies over there. Let's start our stealth. So we're walking over by that. There's one over there. That's interesting. Hopefully, this guy won't notice me, since he's kind of walking that way and I'm over here. Just gonna stop moving for a second, see if he'll just pass on by, leave me be. Okay. As long as we don't make a ton of noise, we should be okay. Unless, of course, there are zombies in this house. Which it almost sounds like there might be. Let's just get up on one knee. Slowly and carefully. Oh, what a good find. Look at that. You guys see what I see? I see some matches. These are very, very useful. Because you cannot, if you hunt animals, like if you're, you don't want to run into a big town with a supermarket if you're starving. If there's a bunch of people on the server, if you're worried about getting shot down. So if you have matches and hatchet and you can find an animal, then you can kill the animal, skin it with if you have a hunting knife, take the meat, chop some wood, make a campfire, and you can cook that meat. And the cool thing is that meat that you cook actually gives you back 800 blood versus, like, I believe it's 200 for cans of food. So that is a excellent find. Found another bandage. Which I'm going to go ahead and throw that ACP round in my backpack. Oh, look at that crossbow. Well, here, that's partially what I needed, or not necessarily what I needed, but something that I was looking for. That way I can just go ahead and add that to my tool belt. If it let me. That's interesting. Not sure why it won't let me do that. Maybe it's because I'm using it. Maybe if I take it off my primary inventory, or you know, unequip it. Yeah, will it let me? Strange. I don't want to get rid of it because it's, I kind of need it. Take another ACP round. Like I said in the last video, you can convert those into the 1911 rounds. Now, with the most recent changes, he said that zombies have like a 20% less chance of hearing you through walls, so... hopefully that's true. Still haven't found any cans of food, which is a little bit of a bummer, but that's okay. My food is not exactly red or flashing yet, so not a big deal. And from the looks of it, I mean, my little backpack that I start with here is almost completely full, so it's definitely in my best interest to find a bigger backpack as soon as possible, which, since we're going to have to go to a big town anyway, we might want to go ahead and see if we can loot a Czech or an Alice backpack while we're there. Probably the best place to do that at is Cherno, especially if the server that you're on doesn't have too many people on it, because a lot of the other players, you know, do like Cherno, but they're mostly gonna try to snipe you if you go to like the fire station or the market. But there are so many of those corner. There's these buildings that are lootable buildings that I think they call them hotels or bars, that have entrances that are on the corners of buildings, and there's, I think, 4 or 5 of them in Cherno, and almost all of them typically spawn a lot of weapons, backpacks, tents, even different things like that, so you can usually pick up one pretty easily. You usually can find them easily in markets as well, although the market, as I said before, it's a hot spot for other players, and you know, you might just end up having to start over if you head there without being very careful. Okay, I'm still wondering why I can't add that to my tool belt. I hope he didn't disable that function, because I really want that crossbow. Oh well, I can always find one somewhere else. Alright. I think we're done with this building. There's still some stuff in there that I'd like to take, but we need to move on. Go ahead and get my hatchet back out so I can stealth crawl and loot from prone position. And you don't necessarily have to have your hatchet out to stealth crawl, but you do have to have a primary weapon in your inventory to be able to stealth crawl. And it almost seems like in some cases, if you have a primary weapon out, like a rifle or whatever, it almost seems like you move faster, like, you know, crawl faster or whatnot. Okay, that's an interesting sight. There is a zombie out in the middle of the road. Almost like there's another player nearby. So we might want to watch our back. Oh, hey. Okay, there must be a little bit of lag on this server because it just now finally put the hatchet on my tool belt. Notice it doesn't look like I have it on me anymore. It's because it's on my tool belt now. So I'm going to go ahead and go back and grab that crossbow now while I can. Ooh. Hello. Okay, let's just stop. Oh yeah, there's definitely some lag on this server because right there it says I'm making noise and I'm standing still. Uh-oh. Oh wait, no, never mind. I didn't have any other ammo to drop. I think I have maybe a bolt in my backpack, but I definitely have some room to get that crossbow. Hold a couple bolts. Yeah, my favorite thing about the crossbow is, and I may have mentioned this before, is the fact that not only is it silent, it's got pretty long range. And you can retrieve the bolts probably 50 to 75% of the time. Especially if you hit a zombie, like maybe in the arm or something, or in the back. Because it just kind of depends on how they fall. You know, if they fall to where the bolt looks like it's sticking straight into the dirt, chances are you might not be able to get it because you have to actually be able to target the actual arrow sticking in the infected to do it. Okay, so we got our nice little crossbow here. Now I actually have silent range. What I'd like to do is find a few more bolts. Actually, I think I have one in my backpack. I'm gonna switch that out to my inventory here. Yep. I'll go ahead and throw a bandage back in there. Pull the ACP round out and convert it. Except for the fact that it's probably going to take forever to do it since this server is lagging severely. Yep, see, I think I just did it. So it's about, I don't know, maybe about a 30-second lag or 15-second lag. Kind of want to check that. There was a lootable... You know what? I'm not going to. If I need more bolts, I can always find bolts in barns, different things like that, which are all over the map. And in most cases, they're kind of out in the... they're not like really close to major cities or anything. There are some that are close to major cities, but there's plenty of them that are just out near forest areas, so you can quickly just go up to them, loot them, as long as there's, you know, not a ton of zombies around, and get back into the forest to safety. Did spawn in this spot yet? No. And that's, you know, it could be because the server is lagging. I think I might check that outhouse real quick before we head out of Dodge. Just happy that I at least have a silent ranged weapon again. No bolts in there. Alright. Time to go. Yep, that's Kamenka. Now, Kamenka does have, as I was saying before, several spots north of it that are on the way to one of my favorite little towns. There's several deer stands on the way. It's you'll hit Pavlovo before you hit the town that I really like, which is Zelenogorsk. I'm probably going to keep getting that message because I tried to switch my hatchet several times, so... I think what we might do... I did want to show where to get medical supplies. We still need to find food. Let's see. Got about 7.5 minutes before I want to end this episode. Let's see. What do we want to do? What do we have time? Maybe I'll show you guys some of the deer stands up here. Although, yeah, why not? Let's just go ahead and stand up since we're out in the open. Forest. I don't think there's not a ton of people on the server right now, but oh, alpha games. Oh, there's the first one. Okay, so now I found it. I'm gonna go ahead and go get down and kind of get a look around, because there could be some military zombies around, and they, in some cases, are harder to take down than the normal infected. They tend to have like body armor or something. if I'm the first one to get to this spot before the server's been reset. There may not even be anything there. Server lag sometimes affects spawn rates and things like that. These deer stands just kind of look at different spots of the ladder until it has that little arrow, and then you can either hit. Probably the safest bet is just to hit your middle mouse button, so that it lets you use the action instead of shooting. Just in case you just happen to move away from the from that cursor, you know, like you have it on that cursor, and then all of a sudden you move slightly and it goes away, and you accidentally shoot instead. Yeah, so that one didn't have anything spawned in it yet at all. And I don't see any zombies, so... yeah, may have to leave this server. I think what I'll try and do is go ahead and... see if I could... find the road and maybe start heading toward my favorite little town. I was kind of hoping I could hit the like at least Cherno and find some medical supplies before we headed there, but I believe the road heading up north is over here. Recognize these rock formations. And some of the online maps that you can find actually show little mountain, you know, pictures for places where there's rocks, like big rock formations in the middle of grassy areas. Which seems like a landmark that I have remember from. Yep, see, there's the road right there. So even without a compass, I'm kind of aware of where I am, luckily. If that's the road, there should be another deer stand over here. Did I get a watch yet? Yes. Okay, so it's not even 1 p.m. in the afternoon on this server, so got plenty of daylight left. I believe the second deer stand is actually over here, kind of on that group of trees right there. Seems like I remember it being somewhat close to the road, but not too close. Oh, there it is. Kind of wish I had binoculars, so I could look to see if there were any zombies near it. I don't see any. Probably a good chance that it's going to be empty as well. Oh, you know what? Oh yeah, there's definitely some issues with this server because the box in the top right corner that shows how many zombies are on the server is even gone. That's not good. Maybe if I disconnected and reconnected, it would fix it. I'm gonna check this one anyway. I'd still kind of like to find some food. Or at least an animal to, oh, well, this one's got some stuff. Alright. Oh, our first, heavy gun. AKM. It's basically like an, it's like a Russian automatic weapon. The only problem is it's really loud. You can switch it from semi to full automatic. It has large clips, but it's just really, really loud. And there's a lot of other players that recognize automatic fire, and if they want to come hunt you down, they will. I might pick up a weapon like that once I get a bigger backpack, so I can toss that in my backpack or throw my crossbow in there if I'm going into a area where I'm worried that there's going to be bandits. But still no food. Well, I think it's about... I think I might just stay at this, or near this deer stand, because it's about that time where I want to end this episode. Just park myself right underneath this bush. That way if I respawn and there just happens to be anybody nearby, they're not gonna just, oh hey player, bang bang, and kill me. Alright. Maybe in the next episode we'll actually be able to do better without the server causing us to not make any progress.
Hey, funny gaming.